Well, hello, and welcome. You know what? I used to do this and we called it night school. But tonight, you all, I get a chance to speak with one of our fellow collaborators. We have one that is missing just right now. And so I get the chance to speak about um, the benefits of collaboration. And I have with us tonight Miss McKenna Garganu, Celebrity Events by McKenna. And we're going to not only talk about the benefits, you all, we're also going to be talking about the pros and the cons of it. Because when it comes to these things, and when it comes to putting something together, when it comes to putting together events, whatever it is that we're looking to do, we need to understand why we need to look at collaborations. And sometimes we don't need to do things with others. We need to do things on our own. But we're going to talk about that tonight. And so we are excited that you are here. I'm looking inside of the comments. Hey, Vet, good to see you. Good to see you. So glad that you are here. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. To each and every one of you are here. If you have comments you want to share with us on tonight, feel free to do so. You can say yay, you can say nay, you can say go up a little bit higher, however it is that you whatever it is that you want to say. But we're going to get started tonight because McKenna, this is something that is so vital and it is so necessary. But let's share with the people. First and foremost, I wanted to make sure that I let people know what collaboration is. And then I want you to jump in as well on when it comes to me, you all, when we talk about collaboration and when we talk about collaborators, let's get a great understanding in regards to it. It's basically, you all, about when people come together, they have to have the same efforts in mind, looking at, do we carry the same values? All these other things come into play because at the end of the day, we're trying to get the job done. The whole purpose is to get the job done. And so that's when we come together and we begin to collaborate. And so what is your take as well when we talk about collaboration, McKenna?
Collaboration to me is very important for business. Very important. To me, it's like the very foundation of how we can do business with each other to create, community, economic empowerment, and also how we could share our skill sets together so we can get some things done. You cannot do this all by yourself, Latanya. You know this.
You cannot do this by yourself, McKenna, and especially when you're trying to put something together. When it comes to workshops, when it comes to events, all of these things. And I believe in making your life better.
Yes.
And so when we look at these things and we talk about the benefits of it, and hold on, you all, because we're gonna talk about the cons of it all too. Okay.
Yes, we'll get real over here,
honey. Okay. We're gonna talk about those pros and those cons and what you need to look for. And so too, when we talk about the benefits, McKenna, for me, it's like it makes life so much easier.
Yes.
Because there's so many things that need to get done, especially when we're trying to grow, as you said, when we're trying to expand. And as you mentioned as well, when we're able to pull together our very own skills and just work the thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I believe that. And what do you say?
I would say that, it's very important for people to realize that, when we try to do everything ourselves, we're going to miss something. Because I think it's really important for us to know that we all have a specialization of something you do very well on your own. But then there's some things you may be not too good at, right? So if you want to put something successfully on, you're going to have to say, okay, what am I really good at? And the best example I give people is because I'm an event producer where I produce clean comedy shows. I'm not a comedian. You're not going to find me up there trying to do an hour set, trying to make everybody laugh. Now I may have a few conversations here and there and make some,
Right.
kiki with my friends, but I ain't gonna hold down. I get somebody who's really good at holding down the stage. They know
Right.
what they're doing, know how to work the crowd, and I just make sure people are there to enjoy the show. I'm not trying to be all to everyone, right? So to me, that's the perfect example of why it's important for us to leverage each other's skill set, because there's some things we're really good at, and there's some things like, that's not my area. Let me go have somebody else do that.
That part right there,
Right.
because yeah, like I always tell, and I think I always tell LaShawn, the dream cultivator, you know what? I can throw some things together, but honey, I am not an event decorator. I will put some things on the table, do whatever it is I need to get done. But when LaShawn, on the other hand, she's very, very detailed. So, I always think about those things. And so when it comes to those areas, you all, we have to know, as you said, our strengths, knowing your weakness,
Mm-hmm.
and then as well, McKenna, we have to begin to look at the opportunities. What are the
Mm-hmm.
opportunities that are out here so I can reach more people, how I can reach the masses? Because we limit ourselves when we keep ourselves in a bubble and we stay stuck. We miss opportunities.
Wow, that's a good point because we all have different circles. And
Yes.
when we collaborate, we bring all those circles together. And then to me, it's like more fun for everybody.
It's
I
more
know
fun.
some of the most successful events I have put on is because I had 10 to 15 people who decided to collaborate with me. In
Yes.
turn, what I do, I promote their platform too. So we all are winning, so it's not just about it's my event, it's our event because I'm going to put you out there, you put me out there, and we helping each other get the word out of our businesses. At the same time, we come together for, an event where everybody's going to have a good time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think collaboration is very important. I like to split things up between people. Even my best friend, she loves, do hair. That's what she do. And so if I have an event coming up, I said, look, here's some tickets. And she's like, look, I got about 5, 10 clients that gonna go. And she be divvying out, So we all do our part. Instead of me doing all 100 tickets, go find 10 people who like what you're doing and you share the wealth. That's how I
Exactly.
do. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You all hear that? Make it easy on yourselves. Make it
Mm-hmm.
easy on yourselves. And another thing is, McKenna, and I want to begin to get into, and if you all have any questions for us, thank you all so much for being in the chat. If you
Yes.
have questions for us, feel free to ask. And
Mm-hmm.
we'll share that as well. But
Mm-hmm.
another thing that I realized for me, McKenna, I had to sit back and evaluate what it is that I need when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to stepping out, looking at the opportunity, connecting with the right people. When
Yes.
I began to look at myself, McKenna, I said, I have to be with goal getters, not just go getters, but goal getters. Or do they carry the same energy as
Mm.
me?
Match your
Do
energy. They have to
that?
match your energy. It's like we all going like this, right? To me, it's so important. Because what
It's
you don't want to
important.
do is be dragging nobody with you.
Mm-mm.
They will hold you back.
Yeah.
I'm one of
Yeah.
those people like I learned at a very early age that you got to get things done.
Yeah.
So no matter what's going on in your circumstances, there's certain things you got to get done because there's people counting on you. So when you drop the ball, something's not going to happen. And so as a grown adult, tell somebody that I'm not able to do this. Not able to fulfill my obligation. So the
Mhm.
train won't stop running because you decide to jump off. We can't
Right.
board the train. The train. We got to stay on this train, right?
Choo
You know.
choo, choo choo.
Oh my God, Latoya, you got your jokes, girl. That was a good one. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, we got to have some animation too. But it's very important to have some, like you said, some go getters.
Right.
These are people, not only do they have goals, but they actualize their goals, right?
Right.
It
Right.
happen, you put action behind it. They make a list and they say, okay, these are things I'm gonna get done today. If it doesn't
Yeah.
get done today, then the next day they keep on working on it until it's finished.
Right. That's real
Hmm.
talk. That's real talk. Because at the end of the day, you have to trust one another.
Mm.
I have to be able to trust you. I have to be able to trust. Hey, Dree, I know Dree is up in here. I have to be able to trust Dree. I have to be able to trust McKenna. I have to be able to trust. Shout out to Tanisha. If Tanisha is in here from Black San Diego, we have to be able to trust one another to get the job done.
Mhm.
And so another thing, and I want people to understand when we talk about the benefits of everything, you all, we have to sit back and say, even as the leader or the person that starts it out and begins to select or begin to look at one another, we also have to set some time aside and say, every week we're going to come together on Wednesday, Thursday, and we're going to talk about what needs to get done, what's been happening, and what has been the progress.
Mhm.
And so we also have to make sure that we're setting up time to talk to one another, because I can't wait till the last minute with the assumption that things are getting done. We have to stay connected. That's part of collaboration as well. What is missing? If something is lacking, what do we need to do to pull up together on to get that thing done? And so that
Mhm.
trust factor comes into play, and as well as there needs to be a structure, you all. We
Mhm.
have to have structure, and we have to as well. I'm big on systems, putting a system in
Mhm.
place, sending out those emails, staying connected, because there's so much that goes into, you all, when we're putting together a venture, or we're putting together a
Mhm.
function, or we're putting together this workshop. And this is
Yes.
what we've done. We've come together for the List Tour San Diego, McKenna,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I totally agree with you, Latanya, because you made me think about, like, some people don't understand, especially in the event planning world, that there's a budget behind all that fun. And so when someone doesn't do their part,
Mhm.
that means there's something has to be done to account for that resource that's not going to show up because someone
Yeah.
dropped the ball.
Yeah.
And if you take time to get it done, then it's all going to get done. But if you start, skipping steps, you do have to notify that person and be honest, because so they have time to make up for.
Right.
So what happens now, you're going to have this domino effect. And then now that's what causes, of course, stress, which none of us like that.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. Because
Mhm.
as you said before, there's so much that goes into anything,
Mhm.
from
Exactly.
and money goes into play. And so
Mhm.
and that's a reason why the trust factor comes into play. The
Mhm.
values come into play. Are
Mhm.
we all goal getters?
Yes.
Does everyone's energy match? And so
Mhm.
we want people to understand when we're looking at collaborations, because we want to let you all know this is the day and time where we're going to have to collaborate. There's
Yes.
too much going on in the world, too much that we're dealing with. We're trying to pull things in together. And so the best
Mhm.
thing now, you all, it's going to be, this is the year and the years to
Mhm.
come, you all, of the collaboration.
Mhm.
But you need to know who you can collaborate with. I
Exactly.
always say at the end of the day, you need to stop. We don't want to call ourselves stalkers, but
Mhm.
sometimes you have to sit back and you have to look and you have to evaluate, what are people actually doing?
Mhm.
What is it? Are they really, really down with what it is that they know that they want to go for? So it boils
Mhm.
back down to the goals.
Yeah.
Do we have those things in order? So when we talk about the benefits of collaborations, those are the benefits. The
Mhm.
benefits of, we're able to pull our skills in, we're able to connect with groups of people that you don't know, I know, people that I don't know, and
Mhm.
so it's a beautiful thing when you can pull people that Dree knows, we don't know. And so when we begin to do those things, you all, it makes a huge difference. And that is how we benefit from those things that we call collaboration. Once again,
Mhm.
you all, this year literally is the year and the years to come of collaboration. And it's something that we have to begin to look at as we begin to build, as we begin to do the things that we do in the process of it all. Yeah, yeah, most definitely.
Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. And like you said, this is the year of collaboration because, as we all know, that we're in a very uncomfortable economic climate right now.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing is that people are getting nervous, they're getting fearful because they don't have a plan. And
Yes.
so, if you get around the right people, and hopefully, I'm praying right now, you already got the right people in your life that you can trust. They hopefully you have like a mastermind group of people that you could go to figure out different things that you need to get done right now,
Yeah.
because you already got to have those groups in front of you already. Because some people may be doing things they say they're doing, but may not really be doing it. And you
You
want people
better
to really know
stop.
what
You
they're
better
talking about.
stalk and look. You better look.
And you want them to really know what they're talking about too.
Yeah.
So you don't want somebody to give you some advice that's not relevant to this time and throw you off.
That's
Yes.
real talk. That's real talk. And so, yeah, we have to pay close attention. And and I always hear people say, you know what, you all, we're cool, we're friends, but business is business.
Mm,
Business is business. And
yeah.
so we have to recognize the fact we're setting goals for ourselves. That's why we talk about you know what? Do you match my energy? I'm setting a goal for myself, and the whole plan is to reach the goal you know
Yes.
and so we're setting out the goals, and then we start to look at what needs to be done next. What do we have to do next get things done? And that is why I definitely believe in structure, putting together, connecting on a weekly basis just to see where we are, because at the end of the day, there always should be what I always call, and I call them
Mm,
KPIs, key performance
mm,
indicators, you all. If I
mm,
set a goal today for this needs to be done by the end of the week. I need to be focused on that thing getting done by the end of the week.
mm, mm.
I don't care if you're putting together your website, you're putting together your guest list, you're putting together any type of list.
Yeah.
A goal needs to be put in place, and you need to meet and match that key
Yes.
performance indicator
Mhm,
before you move to the next thing,
mhm.
because otherwise your foundation is messed up. Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so now, McKenna, let's now, we're talking about, you all, the pros. We're talking about the benefits of collaboration. Now let's go and get down to the dirty on the other
Mm.
side.
What's that side look
What's
like?
that side look like, McKenna? Because we also need to understand the cons of collaboration, because we
Mm,
know we need it. We know we
mhm,
need to come together
mhm.
and join together with people. At the end of the day, as we say, business is business,
Yes.
friendships are friendships. You have to be okay and understand that. But what do you see are the cons of collaboration? Because
Mhm.
the people that are here, everyone needs to understand even
Yes.
that, so we can be on the lookout for certain things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. I think one of the main things could be one of the cons is not understanding what the agreement is in the first place.
That's
Like
good.
we have to know, okay, why are we here? What's the purpose and what are we
Yeah.
going to work on? I believe in including everybody. So I have my ideas, but also I want to know, do you like what we're talking about? Is it something you want to do? Don't just nod your head and say, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And then you go back and leave the table. You're like, I ain't trying to do all that. Because
Oh,
people,
it was cute. It was cute.
yeah, yeah. And we want to be truthful.
Yes.
We want to make sure we honest about our time. That's another thing that's very important. How much
Yeah.
time do you really have to be committed to this collaboration? Do you understand the workload that's being asked for you to do? And then you may think, oh, I can do it. And really you can't, because you're like, oh, I don't have this time, or I don't have this skill set.
Right.
Don't try to just make yourself look good for the sake of looking good,
Right.
because this work has to get done. So sometimes some people don't want to say, I don't know how to do something.
Right.
But
That's
if you
good.
don't say it, then what happens, then we're going to have a collapse in the system of what we are trying to get done. So if everybody's honest, everybody say what they can do, they know what time they have available, they understand what the workload is, then it can get done. But it's when the communication is not there, is when you're going to have some serious situations.
We're
Like
gonna
they said,
we're gonna have a problem.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You have some ditches you don't have.
We're going to have a problem, you all. And I like what Malik said as well. Hey, over there in North Carolina, what time is it? But just
Okay.
like Malik mentioned as well, you all, mentioning discernment, because your inner man is telling you something. And
Mm-hmm.
we have a tendency many times, your spirit is speaking to you. Thank you for bringing that up, Malik. Your spirit is speaking to you, trying to tell you something, but we keep trying to override the spirit man, and it's already trying to tell you something. And
Mm-hmm.
so we have to listen in. We have to listen in and pay attention to those things as well. I think Malik also said intuition.
Yes,
And so
intuition.
that means that we need to pull ourselves in and pay attention to what our inner man is speaking to us, what our spirit man is saying. So we don't sit back and next thing you know, we're upset or we become bitter because something does not get done. So your inner man also speaks to you all. And so when we look at those things, we have to be able to understand, we got to pull all that together and say, what does my intuition saying? What is my spirit saying? What is really going on here? And we have to be okay with being okay with this is not going to work out.
Yeah, yeah. It's not personal.
It's
One
not
thing I learned in business, like, is the honesty is the best thing.
yeah.
I have some amazing, friends in my life, but some of them do not want the responsibility of what I do in my business. And it just
Right.
is.
Right.
But you have to just be real with each other about what you can do. So that
Right.
way it won't be no disagreement later on where somebody's upset because you
Right.
promised something. Like, I
Right.
know I don't do well with graphics. I have a graphic artist. That's not
Right.
my thing. So you won't find me at no table agreeing to do no flyer. That's not what I'm going
Right.
to do. Anytime somebody asks for me, no, I don't do that because you're
But
not
that's
going to
not
be
me.
happy with the product. I
Right.
may have the stick mans on there and start coloring in the lines and stuff. That ain't what you want.
That is not what you want. Now I'm sitting there looking at you side eye saying, this is not it. This is not it. This is not it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so too, thank you guys so much for sharing as well inside of our comment section. I'm only able to see what's happening on YouTube, you all. I know it's always also on the other platforms. But what I also look at when we talk about the cons, and as we said a few things before, not only the things that were mentioned, McKenna, is as we said before, does your energy match my energy? And we have to pay attention to those things because it depends on what it is that we're doing. And so as well, when we talk about the cons, okay, the cons are, you all, stuff is not getting done. Okay. And the thing is, even when things are not getting done, we have to say, this is not working. This is not working. And so you have to pay attention. This is why it is so necessary to connect on a weekly basis. So now we get a chance to see what's happening, what's pulling, what's going on. And that way we're able to say, okay, this is not working. This is not working. And we move on from there. And so some of the cons as well is, as we said, we don't use our discernment. We're not using our intuition. And now what's happened is the efforts are not being matched. Now we have a falter. We have a falter going on
One
here.
of the things I just saw in the chat, I saw that Yvette had put, what about trusting? And trusting is
Mm,
very important.
yeah.
You have to trust each other.
Yeah.
You have to know you have each other back. One of the things I love about what we're doing with the list tour, Latanya, we've been working together now, I think almost 11 years on
Almost
that.
11
And
years.
I totally trust you. I trust your
Yeah.
judgment. I trust what we're going to do next.
Yeah.
I'm all on board when you bring it up to me, because I know where we're going. I
Yeah.
know we're going to a good place. So
Yeah.
trust, like you say, Yvette, is very essential to the agreement and the collaboration between those people that you decide to do a project with.
And that's real. Because if the trust factor is not there, that's just like a relationship. Why am I in a relationship with you and I don't trust you? Now
Girl.
that's a mess. That's a mess right there.
You
And
ain't gonna
so
sleep at night.
you better sleep with one eye open. Okay.
Gotta get right.
You better get it right. Okay. Honest communication is very, very important. We have to be okay with saying, I can't do this, or this is too much. I'm becoming overwhelmed. All these things are happening. So now, we know where to put this is not the space for you. This is not the space for you. I was sharing with someone, I think it was you, McKenna, I was sharing with, and I was saying that for many of us, and I'm going to say this, the majority of us that are excelling to the next level, and this is the reason why we do the list tour, the majority of us who are excelling to the next level, you all, we have people that we can talk to, we have coaches, we have mentors that we can connect with. I remember I was on a call with my mentor, my coach, who is a multimillionaire, you all. Why do I fool with multimillionaires? Because that's my plan, to go become a multimillionaire. All right.
Mhm.
One thing that they said one time, because we did what we have, sometimes we have group coaching. And one thing that they said is that the only thing that they deal with is leaders. They will not fool with anybody else that is not a leader. All right. You have to carry the characteristics of a leader. You are a goal getter. Now, one thing that they said, and they were asking us questions and all this stuff. Now, mind you, when you're doing all of those things, that means you're a busy person. You're a very busy person anyway. And they asked the question and said, okay, well, who finished this project? Who finished this project? And people were like, oh, they didn't finish the project and stuff like that. And then someone said they had a question. They said, ain't no more questions. Click, hung up the phone. Because the whole point was get the job done. If you don't get the job done, don't come at me
We
asking
didn't talk
questions.
about.
There's nothing to talk about.
Nothing to
And so
discuss.
that part. So what did that do for us? Guarantee you better not show up on this next group training without having your questions already in order if you have a questions and getting the work done that was supposed to get done. Because if we don't keep one another accountable, nothing will get done. And
Mhm.
that's another form of when we talk about the benefits of collaboration. When we talk about coming together, you all, that makes us accountable as well. It keeps
Yes.
us accountable, and it also begins to show where you are on the totem pole.
Exactly. Exactly. And to me, it's very important that you have mentors. I mean, I would
Mhm,
not be where I'm at today if I didn't allow someone to show me something that
mhm.
I did not know. I know when I did my first comedy show, I didn't know what I was doing, but thank God I have some amazing comedy mentors who've been in the game longer than me
Yeah,
and who were mentored by the best too, to
yeah,
help me out. Even as I started embarking into getting more into travel and tourism, once again, I partner with a company that's debt free, that's owned by a
mhm,
multi-million dollar earner. Also has some of the top leaders in the industry. And I know that eventually I need to go global because
yeah.
of the state of the world. I kind of got the clue from the pandemic that something was going on. So I was like, wait a minute, I need to be online. I can't just be making money here in San Diego only. So that opened my mind up. And so I had to learn how to do that. And I had to humble myself.
Yeah,
I still have my things I do well that I master, but I said, okay, God says it's time to learn a new thing.
yeah,
You have to pivot your business so that way you can sustain your business through a storm. Do something you cannot see that's happening. So literally all I need is my phone and my laptop. I could do business anywhere in the world. I have set myself free. Okay. So I tell you,
that part right there, you set
yeah.
yourself free. You set yourself
Mhm.
free. And
Yes.
that's real. And that is so real. So what it was you recognize the opportunity.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
and we have to, and I was reading something the other day when it says the majority of people live in a state of survival mode, not
Right.
thrive mode.
Yes.
And we literally have to change our mindset to where, oh, forget the survive. Oh, I just need to make
Mhm.
$2,000 this month and I'm
Mhm.
okay. No, 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 no. We gotta
Mhm.
up the mentality of no, no, no. I need to thrive because there are more opportunities out there for me. There are people waiting on me to do what's next. There are people that are leaning on me that need my help,
Mhm.
that need my assistance. And
Mhm.
so we have to begin to think about the bigger. We have to look
Yeah.
at the bigger
Yeah.
picture. And that's another reason why we need one another, why collaborations do matter,
Mhm.
and what we need to look at when it comes to the benefits, the pros and the
Mhm.
cons of collaboration. And so that's why we wanted to talk about that tonight, because trust me, it has its ups and it has its
Mhm.
downs. If
Yeah.
one falters, the other one will should be able to help pick the other one up. And
Mhm.
that's only a period of time. Because if we see a pattern, y'all, if you see a pattern, that ain't it.
No, that's not it. You have to, because especially when you say about collaboration, one of the things I thought about, like the team I have right now,
Mhm.
that I work with very closely in the travel tourism industry, is growing.
Yeah.
It's like in 5 core states, we're hitting towards
Yeah.
200 some people, and what I had to do, I had to be organized. I had to make sure I keep my mind sharp. about what's going on, the trends in the industry. I had to be available, and then I had to make sure I'm telling people things that could help them, like you said, thrive.
Yeah.
It's very important, because I think you have to have more of a wealth conscious, where you see yourself, where I see myself 5-10 years from now, who else can I help besides just myself? And if you have a family, you should definitely have a mindset which stretch you beyond this time. You think about generations of people who you want to make sure they good, because they said grandma or great grandmother, mother, or great grandfather did this, and that's why we have this. This is how I see the world. But I had to change my circle of people who thought like that too. There's some people are very comfortable where they at. I don't understand why, but they just are. But I'm just not. There's a whole world out there, and I want to know as much as I can to not only sustain the livelihood of what I want personally, but also the livelihood of all the people I love that I feel is dear to my heart too.
Right. And so that's why I am so excited about what we have coming up in San Diego, the a national list tour, y'all. I head back to Nigeria in December as well. And so you all, and I get the chance to really, really share about the journey that I deal with and how I've gotten to the place from where I was before to where I am now, how the doors have begun to open. And so even at the list tour this year, McKenna, it's going to be getting down to the nitty gritty. We're going to be dealing with building a business, how to build your business. Everybody better bring their laptops, and you better have the notebooks. It's going to be some skills training. We're going to be talking about how to build a community, because it is so necessary, because it is intertwined with so many things. You're going to be dealing with that. Building community at the end of the day, you all, is where your money's at too. We're going to leave that for the list tour. We're going to share that information, McKenna, right?
Yes.
And so even dealing with our finances and building credit, especially now in the day and time that we're in, because there was a time you all, I was trying to hold on to my money. I'm like, build credit for nothing. I'm not taking out another credit card. But you begin to realize the way millionaires operate, you all, they use credit to build. They don't use their money.
They don't use their money.
Credit. And so there are things that we have to, and we don't know what we don't know. And I believe we also have someone there that's going to be talking about investment property as well. And so I'm looking forward to that, because we have to get past the point of, how do I begin to build legacy? How do I begin to invest? Where do I begin to put my money into so it makes money for me and it's not just not sitting somewhere? And so we're going to be dealing with all of those things at the list tour. If you are not registered, get registered at thelisttour.com events /events. I said what did I say? I said, first of all, the theme is launch, leverage, lead. And the great entrepreneurs, you all, will be in the room. That's what's going to happen that day. And so I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. Great things will happen.
I couldn't wait for you to call me and tell me you was coming back to San Diego. I've been waiting for that call.
It's going down in the Diego, and we sit. The hotel is right there by the water. And so we're excited about it. And any last words, McKenna? Dree, you still here? We miss Dree.
Hey, hey, lady.
Yeah.
Collaborators too. We're so happy that she's on board. Yes. But what I want to say to some people is, like, make that investment. It's worth being in that room. A lot of times we invest in things that doesn't really birth things for us. And what I realized, even for myself, I had to even leave my own city to be trained in certain things that my city just couldn't provide for me. But what LaTanya is doing for us, she's bringing top of the line people in the room to talk about things that you need to know. It's like a lab. You like in a lab, and we all going in together. We're masterminding, we're sharing, we're making sure everybody getting what they need. I'm telling you, the most successful people have coaches, mentors, and a mastermind group that's thriving together. Let me repeat that.
Come on.
Successful people have coaches, mentors, and a mastermind group. They're thriving together. If you don't have people you're thriving together with and you're going on the same level, you will miss something. We ain't talking
Pay
about
attention.
we ain't talking about networking events. We're talking about when you actually have a relationship with them and you are checking on each other all the time and you become each other accountability partners and they do not let you slip through the cracks.
That's it. And that's community.
Yes, that's the real community. That's what
Mhm.
really counts. You know, some people
Yeah,
have superficial communities where, you know, they see each other at different events and they take little pictures on Facebook and show it, and they don't have a real friendship. As far as they ride and dies like that, it's just a picture. We come
that's it.
alive with this thing. We trying to build a serious community where we going somewhere together.
That's
That's
it.
how you build an empire, because you have people you could count on that's looking out for each other, and they're looking out for each other resources and their family's future too. So if you don't have
Exactly.
that community, we got it at the list tour.
We got
We
it.
got
We
it at the
have it.
list tour. You want to be in that room. I'm telling you right
You
now.
want to be in that room. Right. And just like Yvette said, it is worth being in the room. Every time I attend, I get something new to grow and expand. And it is
Yeah.
so true. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you. Thank
sharing
you.
that with us, Vet. And another thing, what people don't know, and I don't know if I shared this with everyone, of course, I have my media team that will be there. As a matter of fact, I just got off the phone with them probably about a couple of hours before. And two people, you all, will be in the raffle to win a day of video production. That means you
Mhm.
have the opportunity to sit with the media team. Well, they're going to set up time for you to where you'll be on set, putting together your commercial, whatever it is that you want to do to create your very own marketing campaign for yourself. And I'm telling you all, they are top notch. We do not play. I don't bring trash in the door. All right.
Those
And
were
so we're
Latanya.
excited about that because two people will win in that raffle for that. And then as well for the VIP people that are part of the VIP team, you all, they will also go through a professional photo session as well at the list tour. And so we are so excited about it. Thank you so much, McKenna, for
You're
joining me
welcome.
on this platform on
Mhm.
this evening. We miss you, Dree. We know you had
Yes,
some
you
things
do.
going on. We miss you. And for you all that are here tonight, we miss you. We wish you nothing but success. We
Mhm.
wish you nothing but prosperity. We
Yes.
wish nothing but the doors being opened up for you. We look to see you at the List Tour San Diego May 3rd because we are in store for something major. I definitely see a shift. I see a pivot happening. I see a shift in the
Mhm.
mindset of so many of us because
Mhm.
we're at a state and a time now, McKenna, where we can't play around with this thing.
No, we
We
can't.
have to know what to invest in. We have to be willing to step outside the box and jump into the water and roll, as they say, you better roll your boat. But guess what? They don't have to roll the
Yes.
boat by themselves.
That's right. You have the
There's
right
other
people
folk
in
in the
that
boat.
boat. You can do some things.
And I'm about this life, and I'm about this life.
I
Okay.
hear you, Latanya.
I'm about this life. But
All
thank you
aboard.
guys.
All aboard.
All aboard. All aboard. Okay. LaShawn said this was good, ladies. I can't wait to see the trend. It's coming. It's on its
Yes.
way. It's on
Yes.
its way. It is
Definitely.
on its way, you all. I can feel, I can feel it. I
Mhm.
can feel this thing. And so thank
Mhm.
you guys so very much. Any last words, McKenna, as we end on tonight?
Yeah, I would just say I just want to thank everyone that joined us. I see LaShawn out there. I see Dree. I see Yvette. I don't
I
know
got
you,
LaShawn's
Malik.
cup
Good
too.
to see. Yeah.
LaShawn,
Oh,
you drink
you look. Oh, did
collaborators.
you? Oh.
Don't
That's a
play.
nice.
We don't play with,
Okay.
we don't,
Am I getting a cup like that? Is that's what we gonna have?
uh,
Who that
uh,
cup?
LaShawn, you got more cups for sale?
Yeah, she's showing out over here, LaShawn. She's showing off out.
Okay. Mm-mm.
That's a nice. Well, I just want to thank everybody for coming. You know, I love what we're doing, what we created with List Tour. You know, I'm glad that Latanya brought it back.
Mhm.
And definitely, you want to be in the room. If you know anybody who's going to benefit from this, definitely share this video so they can get a taste of what we're going to be having there on May 3rd, right here in San Diego. Was from 9 a.m. right, Latanya, to 4 p.m.
9 a.m.
at a beautiful hotel downtown where you go see the water.
That's it.
San Diego lifestyle.
San Diego lifestyle, which has changed so much. It's amazing, you all. And so for you all, bring your laptops, bring whatever books you need, because we are going deep in all of this, because the whole goal is to ensure that you are successful in whatever business you are in, whatever industry you are in. Ask the questions. We're covering everything from the beginning all the way to the end. And so
Mhm.
make sure you are ready. Come in with an expectation of learning. Come in with an expectation that I'm not leaving here until I get what I need. Because
That's
the goal is we're going to give it to you.
that's
And
right.
then we're going to do the work.
Mhm.
We don't want you to just come in and just take and just, oh, this was wonderful. No, no, no. We're going to leave here and we're going to do the work, and we're
Mm.
going to keep you accountable in the midst of it all. All
Thank
right.
you. I love it. Thank you so much.
Right,
Thank
right.
you,
So
Denise.
thank you all
Or
so,
Lasagna.
so very
Thank you.
much. Thank you all so, so very much. We're excited. Keep in touch with us. Let us know what you have going on, because you know what? We're here together to thrive together. All right. Take care,
Yes.
you guys. See you
Okay. Bye,
soon.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Peace and cess.